Yo, welcome back, you dirty bitches. It is Halloween Eve. Happy Halloween.
It's Devil's Night.
Yeah. For those of you guys that don't know that voice, that is my buddy Jesus.
How do they not know?
Let me tell you something, Monsoon. You just hit me with that one. I had to hit you back.
Yeah. How do they not know my voice, man? I know it's been a while, but
you should know it by now.
Yeah, I should know it by now.
Yeah.
So we just saw
AEW for October 30th, 2019. And I'm not gonna lie, that was probably one of their shittier shows.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It was probably one of their slower paced.
And it's a setup show, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Still entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Still like it.
They ended strong.
I'm gonna watch NXT tomorrow, and I'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think they're trying to pick it up.
Well, last week NXT, Finn Balor turned heel on. So they had the Undisputed Era, and then they had as heels, and then they had Finn as a babyface with Ciampa and Gargano standing against them, and then Finn insecurity kicked Gargano, and then he hit Ciampa because Ciampa was like, "What the hell?" And then,
and I guess tonight was supposed to be the explanation of.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if he joins
why he did
Undisputed Era and they make it the Undisputed Club, or what they do with that. But today's AEW. But first off, please go ahead and subscribe to this podcast. Subscribe on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, all that cool stuff. But please go ahead and check out the Rewrites. The Rewrites are a local band from here in Chicago. They're doing a show November 2nd, I think at Moe's Tavern. Sorry if I got that wrong. I should look it up. But they're doing a show.
Wait, there's actually a place called Moe's Tavern.
Yeah, I've been a couple of times too.
Okay.
They used to have Simpsons memorabilia on the walls.
Okay, that's actually really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but go ahead and check them out. They're also doing a show November 22nd in Michigan, so go ahead and check them out for that as well in Michigan. Muskegon, Michigan. Doing it at a brewery. I'm probably going to go up there for that.
Shit, that sounds like
fun. I've never been to Michigan, so it'll be my first time up there.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. I love the Rewrites. They let me use their music. Toucan always helps me out to do the podcast, and Smoke Frog is Smoke Frog.
I mean, Toucan hooked it up with those really sweet T-shirts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I can't. I wear mine all the time, and I can't. I gotta say, man, thanks Toucan.
Yeah, he hooked me up. I got a couple. I gave some away though.
Yeah,
I should have had more, but I gave some more away. I need to make some. I keep saying it, but I need to make some.
Yeah,
but I'm saving money to go to Michigan right now.
It's got to be that same design too, because that's a really sweet design.
Yeah. So you haven't been here in a while. I don't know when was the last time you were here, but it was definitely before AEW started.
The last show that we did, we kind of broke down the current state of wrestling, and it was a couple of weeks before AEW premiered. It might have even been a month before they premiered, maybe even longer, like a month and a half before they premiered.
So, what do you think so far of the AEW product?
I will say, if I had to pick between AEW and WWE, I would pick AEW all the way. You really get into the product they're putting out. You know, I don't want to say that there's believability to it, because I mean there is.
I only use it for my nephew, but that way he doesn't smell it.
Yeah, it's believable. There are stakes to the matches. You know, wins and losses matter. That's something that they hit home. Those first 2-3 episodes. This is what, like episode 4 or 5?
5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So those first 2 or 3 episodes, they were really hitting that home, that wins and losses matter. They were really just trying to establish that what they are and what they're trying to bring, and what ways they're alternatives.
So this would be their first pay-per-view after getting the network spot.
Yep.
And maybe that's why it was kind of slow. Like we said, it was set up. It even started off with set up Cody Rhodes coming out of a jet with Shivani taking a ride with him. So Cody had invited him, I guess. Well, you were coming over, but
Yeah, I was en route.
Yeah, Cody had, I guess he invited Shivani on there, and it was like his personal escort. And they were pretty much cutting a promo with him going to the arena with Cody because Shivani means a big deal to him. They hugged in the ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, after that, they go to... So, last week I missed parts of it. That's why I didn't come out with a breakdown. That's why I'm doing it this week. But Moxley had fought Pac, and there was a time limit. The time limit went off, so it was a double count out. He went on to complain to Khan, where Khan also mentioned to him that the match between him and Omega was not going to be sanctioned because of the violence that Moxley is known to portray in his matches, or to, give out, dish out.
Yep.
So he said it was going to be an unsanctioned match. Moxley was yelling at him that how the hell is he going to make it an unsanctioned match because it was his golden boy, and he didn't want his golden boy to get a loss or whatever, or his top guy. And Khan's like, hey, look, it's an unsanctioned match. I can't make it sanctioned. Moxley pretty much said whatever happens is on your hands. So if Moxley for some reason goes off the rails and butt fucks him, it's on Khan's hands, bro. It can happen. It's AEW. It's pay-per-view. They say shit on TV now.
That would definitely be an alternative to anything WWE's doing.
Yeah.
WWE's doing cuck storylines, and AEW can do the butt stuff.
Mm-hmm. I didn't do a breakdown for Raw. I don't think it deserved one this week. It's pretty bad. I'd rather go to sleep and be rested up for work. If it's good enough, I'm going to do a breakdown for it. And I've been doing breakdowns for Raw and AEW. But Raw this past week was garbage. Even the ending, how it ended, was doo-doo.
It dragged on, and Raw's quickly become something that I just skim through. That I feel I can easily miss it, and then go through and watch highlights and what have you, and be caught up. Because there's a lot of filler that you can easily filter out.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you get the main points of it, which is probably less than a third of the show, you'll know what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So I can, that's what Raw's becoming to me.
Yeah, no, yesterday's Raw was pretty garbage. I don't know where it was going. It was setting up like a crown jewel.
Oh yeah, and
bullshit.
then they have to, build their programs for that.
Which, like, they switched programs like halfway through it. Seth Rollins was captain of Team Hogan, and then they switched from that.
Yeah.
So I don't know where they're going with that. Like you mentioned, they ended with the cuck storyline with Rusev. He's getting cucked out by Lashley. Lashley's fucking his girl.
Yeah, and so originally this was a storyline that started with somebody there. One of the writers there probably has like a cuck fetish or something.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause they were doing this with Mike Kanellis, where the chick Maria was she was being like the dominating one and just belittling him, and probably had one of those cock ring cages on.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't even put that together.
He was wrestling.
Yeah, I didn't even put that together. Now they have been doing weird storylines like that,
and now they're doing it to poor Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
So
who do you think it is?
I don't know. It's got to be one of the writers there. Maybe it's Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman's being cooked out in real life.
Maybe he's just into that. I don't know.
Yeah, now that you mention it, that has been the narrative in two different storylines recently.
Yeah,
recently.
Yeah, it's bad.
Both partaking of the Rusev. First, Rusev was the one doing the cucking, and now he's the one being cucked out. Remember Maria Kanellis was like Rusev's the father?
Yeah, but that wasn't like a long-term thing.
Yeah, I know, but he was still involved in both of them now.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Which goes to show you that writing doesn't know what to do with Rusev, but they don't want to lose him.
Yeah, but I think they're not afraid. At this point, they're not afraid to keep talent at home under contract and still paying them.
Mm-hmm.
because they'd rather do that than lose them out to the competition. And I do think that AEW is legitimate competition.
Harper's probably getting put up back on the bench. Just paid to not wrestle.
Probably.
That's a big get for AEW.
Yeah.
Harper's a good get. I don't know why they don't know what to do with him.
How do they not know what to do with him? He's a big guy.
Mm-hmm. Even putting him back with Rowan, they can do something. But they've gone to that well too many times where they pull bullshit out. I don't have faith that they're going to do something with him. Keep him singles.
I thought that the Bludgeon Brothers was something that was kind of working.
Yeah.
And then he went and got injured.
Yeah. Bring him back in a mask for the Fiend.
No.
The Fiend's protege.
The Fiend's got to go alone on this one. They can't go back to that.
He's already getting beat on house shows by Seth. So they've already kind of killed him.
Well, that's just establishing that whenever they do have the match, Seth's probably going to go over.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
They're not taking the belt off of Seth.
No.
Which, if they were going to rocket the Fiend up this fast, they should have done it already.
Yeah.
They should have pulled the trigger at Hell in a Cell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But back to AEW. So, yeah, after that Omega promo, we come to our first match, Sammy Guevara versus Hangman Page. Pretty good Page, man. Pretty good match between both of them. Sammy Guevara is showing more and more of his talents. Hangman Page is showcasing himself as well. And it was the small, agile guy versus the strong dude in Hangman Page.
So one of the things that I noticed with AEW is they know how to start a show. They know how to. It's like when WCW would start off with the luchadors and the cruiserweights. Mm-hmm. They would start it off hot. I think I didn't see this opening match because I was still on my way here.
Yeah.
But the weeks that I've been watching it, they know how to start off a show. Like there was the 1 week where they started with Private Party versus the Bucks.
Mm-hmm. Last week, who started off too? It was a good tag team match.
Or last week might have been the Private Party match. I don't think it was against the Bucks.
Last week they got eliminated by Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They eliminated the Bucks the week before that, and then they faced the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah. No, but I can't think of any matches off the top of my head. But the starting matches, they usually know how to start the show pretty good.
No, they've been starting them off really good. Well, the first match ever for Dynamite was Sammy Guevara.
Which is very refreshing, considering that they're not, with the exception of today, they're not starting off these shows with the usual 15-minute promo.
Yeah.
So it's very engaging.
I don't think AEW's done that, have they? Raw definitely does it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Like, the contrast is there, and that's how you engage your audience.
Yeah, they've been starting off their shows pretty much with wrestling, and like you mentioned, putting on their what we would say the WCW cruiserweight matches: the Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio's, Psychosis versus Mysterio's, Dean Malenko's versus fucking Chris Benoit's.
Yeah,
you had a fucking bunch of those matches. Yeah, no, so Page was just showing off his strength. He caught Guevara one time. What do you call it? The Samoan slam behind there? Samoan drop?
Yeah.
The fall-away slam?
Right.
Yeah, he caught him off the ropes with that
one. I missed this match. So.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they were just both showcasing their moves. Hangman Page even hit a sweet moonsault from the top rope to the outside. It eventually ended with Hangman Page hitting the buckshot.
Okay.
Yeah. If you guys don't know what the buckshot is, he kind of somersaults from apron into the ropes or into the ring, and then hits him with a lariat, buckshot lariat. I forgot the lariat part in there. Clothesline.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet move. If you get the chance to ever see Hangman Page wrestle.
Yeah, Shayna versus Shida. I forgot. I didn't write down the first name. I was distracted.
I had never seen these two.
Me neither. I think I have, because one was 0-1. Shida was 0-1. I've never seen Shana.
So AEW does AEW Dark. So it's possible that Some of the talent that they're using has already been showcased on the AEW Dark show.
And that's why I probably didn't see this match.
Well, that's why we're seeing some of the talent ourselves for the first time, because I haven't been following. I think I've seen like one segment of the AEW Dark.
It was an okay match, if anything. It wasn't anything special.
It wasn't anything that I thought was.
You were shitting on it. You were duking all over it.
So this is something that should have been AEW Dark, something that isn't, put out there for the mass audience. I think they're both of these. I don't know who it was. I can't pinpoint it to one or the other. It might have just been both. They weren't gelling. They weren't. The chemistry wasn't there, and so as a result, a lot of their moves were really sloppy.
I think it started off strong and it declined after that because they used the outside and Sheeta was using some knees.
Yeah, there was one spot where Sheeta jumped into Shana's face with her knee, and that looked really, really painful. That looked convincing.
Break your back on my knee like so. Remember the Asso Wipo from Mad TV?
Yes.
So the Asso Wipo was first Will Sasso, right? And then they switched it from Will Sasso to someone else? It was two different guys.
That I don't remember. It might have still been Will Sasso, except Will Sasso might have gotten thin.
No. It went from big fat Will Sasso to like really skinny guy. The skinny guy with glasses. I don't know.
Maybe.
It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago.
I'd agree with it was just a meh match. On par with the females in WWE, I would say.
Yeah, this is something that I would be more surprised or less surprised seeing on NXT. Like back when NXT was actually a developmental thing. But I wasn't feeling this match.
AEW's been putting on some good, NXT's been putting on some good female matches. Rhea Ripley's there. Toni Storm is there.
Well, they need to, I don't blame them. They need to step up.
Yeah, they've been having some good matches. Shana with she did a nice double stomp, but I forgot who. Sheeta wins this match, doesn't she?
Sheeta wins it eventually.
She does the running double knee.
Yeah.
It was close to the ropes. I thought she was going to use the ropes to get out, but no.
Yeah, I honestly thought this match was a little longer than it should have been.
Yeah. Then we had the Rock and Roll Express come out to present the tag team championships and give a promo on it, but we didn't even get that because Santana and Ortiz come out, put a beating on these two, and then I don't know which one of the two of the Rock and Roll Express they put. The one with the gray hair, they put him through.
Yeah, the one with the blonde mullet. I think that's Ricky Morton. Ricky
Morton gets put through some stage stuff. It was set up for him, and Jesus, you had a.
Yeah, they shot it badly where you could see that Ricky Morton, who was on the receiving end of that powerbomb. Yeah, that is Ricky Morton. He was on the receiving end of the powerbomb from one of. I don't remember who was actually delivering it. It was one of. It was either Santana or. I'm sorry. What's the other guy?
Ortiz.
Ortiz. There we go.
LAX, bro.
Yeah, it was one of them. They were giving. They delivered a powerbomb, and Ricky Morton was very clearly wearing like an ass pad or a back pad or something, so he could reduce.
Dude, they're like 70.
Yeah. Well. So it was pretty obvious.
Rock and Roll Express. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised even with all the extra protection and all the smoke and mirrors that Ricky Morton was still able to take a powerbomb off of the stage.
Looks sweet. Still look pretty sweet.
Yeah. It's devastating and it brings a seriousness to the show.
Yeah. Shivani and Cody cut a promo and the meaning of the title and how much it means to Shivani that Cody's inviting him to ride around with him. It's kind of weird. I know, I get it. They're signing the contract today.
Right. That's what they're building up towards. Shivani is telling a story about how he in the 80s, met Willie Nelson, and Willie wanted to meet Dusty, and they went to his locker room, and Dusty was naked. Did you catch that?
No, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, they Shivani told that story. So that was pretty great.
Yeah, so they're in the limo going to the arena.
So there was a lot of mention of Dusty. So they're even incorporating, in a way, they're incorporating Dusty into. So they're incorporating all the Rhodes family, and that will.
Well, they can use Dusty, right? As long as they don't put Dusty Rhodes together.
That's actually a good question, because I'm not.
Because it's not even Cody Rhodes anymore, right? It's
Cody? It's still the American Nightmare Cody.
Yeah,
it's still Cody. What are the? Is it? Do they call him Dustin Runnels?
I think so. But in WWF, WWE, he used both.
In WCW, he was the natural Dustin Rhodes. Mm-hmm. In WWE, when he was trying to go away from Goldust,
yeah, that's when he was Dustin Runnels.
He went and used Dustin Runnels, mm-hmm. because at that time they were still doing the Monday Night Wars, and Dusty was on WCW, so at that point they couldn't use the Rhodes name.
I think they might be calling him the natural Dustin. I don't know.
I don't know if they're using the Runnels last name, but I know they're calling him the natural. Mm-hmm. But just
call him the natural.
Just the fact that they're even bringing in Dusty into all this, it ties into what this will eventually become later in the show, when they involve Dustin.
Mm-hmm. There's a tag team or triple tag team match or 6-man tag team match. Marshall and what's his name?
QT Marshall. I don't know.
Jay Silver.
Yeah, Jay Silver and
something Reynolds, and not Dustin.
No,
some other Reynolds. It's a squash match.
It's a squash match against
the Best Friends.
The Best Friends and Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, which we're not over on Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of
I'm not
Orange
putting
Cassidy.
Them over.
I did enjoy the Rick and Morty time, because I love Rick and Morty. You've never seen it.
I've never seen it, so I got nothing bad to say about it.
I did enjoy it. They had, for their entrance, they had Rick and Morty. The voice actors actually do their entrance as they came out.
I thought that was pretty cool.
So that was pretty cool.
Even though I don't know Rick and Morty, but I thought that was cool.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. The Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and oh man, what's his name?
I only know them as the Best Friends.
Yeah, they were the ones that were dressed as Rick and Morty, and then Orange Cassidy was just Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy got to get his bullshit in, his stupid leg kicks, his leg taps, but then he got to get his offense in, where you have to let him do stuff in order for him to do stuff, or else it doesn't work. Yeah. Because his hands are in his pocket the whole time, so it's really fucking annoying.
Yeah. And so there will come a time where it's like, okay, is that really all this is?
Yeah, well.
Then that novelty is gonna wear off.
It wore off with me right away.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, so quick squash match for the Best Friends. They win. Yep. I forgot exactly how, but they won. Oh, they do their spot. They did their finishing move where one holds them kind of like for a pile driver, and the other one jumps and hits him in the butt.
Yeah, and then it's almost like a reverse tombstone.
Yeah, it's weird.
Into the pin, and they win it.
Jericho and Cody signed contracts, and Jericho keeps teasing that he's going to fuck up Cody, but he never does it.
Yeah.
Kind of gets up and like, what?
Yeah, he's kind of trying to get into his face, trying to intimidate him. Never really actually does anything. They signed the contract. Jericho's wearing a very amusing Halloween-themed button-down T-shirt that's all purple with orange pumpkins.
Jack-o'-lanterns, bro.
Right. Yes, jack-o'-lanterns. And they signed the contract. Jericho directs Cody over to the It's not a Titantron. It's like the screen on the stage.
Mm-hmm.
The AEW Tron. I don't know what the hell they call it. And they're Jericho's telling Cody that he should have had his eye on what was going on in the back. In the back, it's Sammy Guevara with Jake Hager, and they're beating up on Dustin here. So at this point, this is what I was saying earlier. It kind of becomes a family affair with
his family.
Yeah,
family.
Yeah, you're messing with the family.
Yeah, you're messing with the family.
Yeah,
they get him good.
Oh man, they bump Dustin's head into the side of the car.
I don't think it's a gimmick car.
No, there's no way you can gimmick that.
That's not a gimmick car.
It leaves a dent, and then they smash his arm with the door.
Mm-hmm.
And both of those spots look very devastating.
Yeah. Shout outs to fucking Goldust.
Yeah.
And R.I.P. John Witherspoon.
Yeah. I was very saddened to hear that John Witherspoon
Granddad from
passed away
Boondocks.
Today. Yep. Pops from Friday.
Yeah. And Pops from the Wayans Brothers show.
Yeah.
There's Pops on there too.
I was actually watching Black Jesus on Adult Swim. He's in that.
Yeah, he is in there.
I enjoy his character on that. Him and Charlie Murphy.
Any character he does is awesome.
Yeah.
It's hot sauce on my burrito.
It's really sad because both John Witherspoon and Charlie Murphy are no longer with us, and they were two characters on the Black Jesus show and on Adult Swim.
Boondocks, I think, is coming out with a season that he did.
Yeah.
The last season that he did with them.
Yeah.
Before he died. I'm glad Rogan had him on too. He was on Rogan not too long ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He did an episode of Rogan and his son. Not
Shit.
Rogan's son, because Rogan doesn't have any sons. John Witherspoon and his son.
That's pretty. I'm gonna have to
did an episode.
Yeah. So R.I.P. John Witherspoon.
Yeah. So Jack Hager attacks Dustin, smashes him against the limo, then smashes his hand, and then we have a tag team match after this because, Cody and FMJ run off. MJF run them off.
Yeah, Jericho
lights a cigar.
He lights a cigar, and he's getting into the car. And
a little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah.
He's going to go have a little bit of the bubbly.
Yeah, I love Jericho. He's still amazing.
Yeah. He's longtime favorite. I don't got... When people want to shit on him, oh, he's old. He can still...
He's such a character, and that's what gets him over.
Yeah. Dude, and he's been able to evolve his character so much.
Yeah.
I'm not
pretty
even
sure,
evolved. Add on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm pretty sure he just got cigar smoking over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He got bubbly over.
Yeah.
A little bit of the bubbly. The Hybrid 2 plus Kip Sabian versus Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Who else did the Hybrid 2 have with them?
No, it was just them and Kip Sabian.
Okay.
So it was Jack Evans, Angelico, and Kip Sabian.
Okay. I don't like the Hybrid 2.
I like Jack Evans. I can't get into Angelico.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not body shaming, but I feel like he's tall and lanky, and that's why he has to wear a full body.
He had no ass.
Okay.
He had a Hank Hill ass.
Okay. It's concave.
Mm-hmm. Dude, I saw a chick at Burger King the other day with like zero ass.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, lady, squat or something, eat something.
Well, that's why she was there.
Well, I don't know what the hell she's doing wrong then, because she had zero ass, dude. It was like like she didn't even walk. She was walking though.
Okay.
Yeah. This was a pretty good tag team match. For the Hybrid 2 and Kip Sabian, I thought they would have gotten squashed a lot faster than Kenny Omega and the Bucks being in here.
Yeah.
I don't know what did Kenny Omega come dressed as? My nephew knew.
He knew, yeah, but it's
some video game, character.
Yeah. But we knew the Young Bucks they came out as Ryu and Ken from Street Fighter.
And the other guys were just whatever.
The other guys just came out and they were who they were. A lot of what Jack Evans could do in terms of his aerial moves that was really showcased here. That's one of the reasons why I enjoy him, because he can do a lot of really good stuff.
Look, I don't hate him because of his wrestling. I hate him because of his gear, and he's a heel.
I think a part of me likes him because he reminds me of Brian Kendrick, like a really young Brian Kendrick, when he was with Paul London, and it was Kendrick in London. You weren't watching at that time, I don't think.
I know who London is. I know Kendrick. I was right about the time I was gonna clock out of watching.
So I think that's why I get into him, because he reminds me of particularly Brian Kendrick.
To me, it's a very annoying heel. But he's got good wrestling. I can't deny that. I just can't get into his character or his attire, so that's why I hate him. I saw him from Lucha Underground. I know his name's changed, but the character's the same. Yeah. So Omega and the Young Bucks definitely win. I don't remember how. You remember?
I think they hit like some triple threat move, and yeah, I thought this match went on a little bit longer than it should have.
The spot I do remember is Kip Sabian does like a suicide dive outside. All three of them catch him and powerbomb him on the apron.
Yeah, and we were talking about how that can get a little difficult to watch
because of the back.
Yeah, but then they showed the replay and you saw he took it on his elbow.
He's a pro though. He's a pro.
Yeah.
After this, we have an unsanctioned promo by John Moxley. He came out and beat up the dude in the robe with the chicks.
Yeah, the librarian.
Yeah, he came out and DDT'd him. He did his double arm DDT. And then he cut the promo about the unsanctioned match about Kenny Omega and what it meant.
Yep.
Which, I don't know what they're doing.
It's called building.
Yeah. Building to what? A match that I guess
they're building to an unsanctioned match. Which it's funny that this is what they're using to say wins and losses don't matter.
Exactly.
To get out of that.
I was about to say. I'm like, oh, what a fucking cop out then to not give your boy Omega another loss because he's been losing a lot.
Yeah, that's what they're using to get out of that.
Because Moxley's going to go over because Moxley's been winning. Moxley doesn't want to lose. Kenny Omega is part of the company. He knows he has to sell and put over Moxley. So, hey, I need to put him over, but I'll put him over in an unsanctioned match so it doesn't go against my record. We know. We know this, son. Sorry. Damn, we're all quick about it then. The main event, the Lucha Brothers versus SCU.
Man, match of the night for me.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
If this would have been the whole match on the show, I wouldn't have complained.
People want to say like, oh well, you guys are behind AEW so much. Look what happened to WCW. They fucking faded. They faded. This is the difference I'm seeing with AEW and WCW. Both companies started strong. WCW always somehow shit the bed at the end. With their especially in the pay-per-views.
They were victims of the people that were running them. WCW. Whereas you see over here, like you were saying, Omega, who is definitely behind AEW, is all for putting over his talent.
What, you're telling me Goldberg should have beaten Ash? Is that what you're saying? You're telling me there shouldn't have been a cattle prod? Or at least do it cleanly, right?
You have the finger poke of doom. You have the premature ending of Goldberg's streak. The unmasking of Rey fucking Mysterio.
The shitty fireballs with him and Warrior.
You had Hulk Hogan all over this fucking thing.
What's sad is you can go by and you can name so many botched endings to pay-per-views that, like I said,
a lot of drop balls.
They knew how to start off strong with their luchadors, and they start off with a great lucha match, not just lucha match, but a great match to start it off with. And AEW seems to be doing the same thing. If they can,
and it's a
formula.
Can stick
the landing.
it's a formula that WCW stuck to the end, because you go into a lot of their later shows in 2000 and later, the early shows of 2001, before they closed their doors, they were still using that formula of having the cruiserweights and the high flyers on first. So they never actually deviated away from that formula, and you can actually see some, I guess, diamonds in the rough, because there's some talent there with like the Young Dragons, with I know Jamie Noble was one of the Young Dragons. He was the one under the mask, but yeah, he was. There's matches with them. There's matches with 3 Count, which. Yeah, okay, 3 Count was a boy band, but whatever. They were still good. But yeah, we're getting...
You brought up 3 Count to me a bunch of times off air.
3 Count is great. They were a great gimmick. It was topical.
At the time, yeah.
Yeah.
It made sense at the time.
Yeah.
Now, NWO 2000, not so much.
Well, yeah.
It was topical, but didn't make sense.
Yeah,
Well, I guess it made some sense because it was 2000, but Jeff Jarrett was the leader of NWO 2000. He was the Hogan of NWO 2000.
Yeah, I mean
that says it all.
That was the only way Jeff Jarrett was ever gonna get into the main event picture. Was WCW.
And when it was flailing and dying like a magic carp out of water.
Yeah.
So sad. So sad. But AEW bringing the heat, especially with this badass
this main event.
Mm-hmm. But the Lucha Brothers have always put on, dude, from the ladder match that they did at the pay-per-view, right before Dynamite started.
Yeah.
The match that they put on to advance.
Yeah, no, these 2 guys are amazing talents.
Rey Fenix and Pentagon Jr. They took on SCU, which was Scorpio Sky
and Frankie Kazarian.
Fantastic match. I went in thinking Lucha Brothers were gonna win 100%.
Yeah,
and they swerved us.
Yeah,
they hit us with the M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, because so they were going through a bunch of the close call finishes where you get the 2 count and they would kick out. And then out of nowhere, they do a roll up on Pentagon, and that actually gets it. You're expecting Pentagon to kick out. You're seeing Phoenix get on the rope, so you think Phoenix is either gonna break up the count, or Pentagon's gonna kick out because there have been so many close calls. And no.
Yeah,
out of nowhere, SCU wins it.
Kazarian stops fucking
and so
Phoenix.
I thought this was a really good use of timing.
Yeah. So did the ref not see the table spot? So Pentagon Jr. put Kazarian through a table. I'm guessing the ref didn't see it.
Yeah,
which led everyone to believe Kazarian was going to be out the whole time. Which is when the Lucha Brothers went to work on their double team. Which is when... So they were going for their double team move, which is Phoenix on the ropes. And Pentagon Jr. sets him up for like a slam when this guy jumps on him.
Mm-hmm. That's
when Scorpio Sky did the roll up, and that's when Kazarian ran in and hit Phoenix, and that was the 1-2-3, which caught everyone off guard.
Yep. The crowd. AEW does a lot of crowd shots, so they're getting shots of the crowd being all surprised. Yeah. You would have thought it was Undertaker's streak ending.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
SCU picks up the fucking first ever AEW Tag Team Championships. They sacrificed Rock and Roll Express to bring out the titles.
I thought this was a really good build overall, like throughout the last 5 weeks that AEW has been on. Because this is like episode 4 or 5. So over the course of their premiere episode up until now, they were doing the tournament building up to this very point, and I thought it was a really good build. We got some really good matches out of that tournament. Like the one we talked about with the Young Bucks and Private Party.
Oh yeah, even Private Party going over on the Young Bucks, that was pretty crazy too. That was a swerve. They swerved us there. They swerved us good. God damn it.
Private Party taking it all the way to the Lucha Bros.
That was a badass match too.
We saw SCU. We saw Christopher Daniels get taken out of SCU and Scorpio Sky stepping in.
Yeah.
Nice
little story.
Maybe you can help me remember who they faced that night, because I don't. I'm drawing a blank, and that was the opening match for that night.
I can't
remember. If I'm not mistaken, that was 2 weeks ago.
Was it the Best Friends?
It might have been.
I know the Best Friends picked up a loss in like one of their first early on, and then they went up to pick up a win. It might have been the Best Friends.
Yeah, it might have been.
Best Friends were definitely in that tournament. I want to say it was the Best Friends.
It could have been. You know what? Was it Santana and Ortiz?
Were they even in the tournament?
I think they were.
Santana and Ortiz, were they even in the tournament?
I think they were.
Or did SCU face the Luchasaurus or the Lucha? No, Jurassic Express.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I think that was
it was the Lucha Bros versus Jungle Boy and
we had it backwards then.
Yeah.
And then it was Private Party versus SCU. I could pull up the tournament actually, to be honest.
I'm doing it now.
Well, thanks a lot, Jamie, for doing it earlier. AEW Tag Tournament.
Yeah, so it was the Best Friends and SCU
that fought against who?
The Best Friends fought SCU the night that Christopher Daniels got taken out. And Christopher Daniels got taken out by the Lucha Bros. So then after that, it was SCU versus Dark Order. And that's the dudes that come out with those weird, like
the weird dudes.
Yeah, with the weird dudes that come out like all spazzy.
Yeah, they're all spazzing out everywhere, like crawling everywhere, all weird.
Yeah, and I'm just like, man, they need a midget.
Yeah, you were saying that, and I think they prefer to be called.
They need
little people. They need a
little.
Dwarves.
They need a little person.
I'm gonna have to ask you to, be politically correct.
Okay.
You bastard.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Fantastic match.
You can just edit that out.
No, I'm gonna leave that in there so you're canceled. I'm gonna put your info. I'm gonna dox you. You're doxed, bro. You're out of here. Yeah, so it was crazy to see SCU win the tag team championships. What's awesome to see is my nephew actually wants to see AEW, and he watched the whole AEW with me.
Yeah, he was here the whole time.
Mm-hmm. So he had been walking.
He was pretty into it.
He moved in a couple weeks ago. No, a week ago. 2 weeks ago now. I don't know. So it was my storage room. So now he just moved in there. It's pretty big.
Yeah,
I used to live in there.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of room over here at Full Heel Studios.
Yeah, brother. So I moved. He moved in there, and he had been walking in and watching the wrestling, and he's like, "Oh, this is pretty good." Or I'd be like, "Hey, look, come watch this." He definitely saw it last week, and he's like, "Hey, can I watch?" I'm like, "Yeah, fuck yeah, dude." And I'm like, "My friend's coming over. I'm like, you could stay. You don't have to leave." And then so he saw it. He stayed the whole time. He only went to go shower during the promo, maybe, or something, and then came back and saw the last match too.
Yeah.
He wanted Lucha Brothers to win too. He was rooting for them.
Yeah, he was disappointed when the Lucha
like,
Bros didn't
win.
win.
He's like, Lucha Bros lost. I was like,
I mean, we're both partial to the Lucha Brothers, so
mm-hmm.
I really wanted them to win too. But
sad.
No, it was a good match.
Yeah, though.
It was a really good match. That was the match of the night for me.
Yeah, 100%. So Juice, I want to thank you for coming. I want to thank you for inviting me to that Halloween party with that black girl dressed as a Girl Scout with her ass hanging out. That was pretty cool.
Okay. All right.
I got high.
I was dressed up as Ripley from Alien.
Yeah, you didn't have the forklift suit, but okay.
Yeah, no, I was pre-forklift suit.
Mm-hmm.
Ripley. You know what? Well, we're gonna have to get on here and do our 3-3 matches. I know it's something we talked about last time, but
so hopefully I can get you on for AEW breakdowns, even if it's on Skype.
Yeah, are you talking Carney, bro?
Yeah, I'm talking Carney.
You talking some Kazarnian?
Yeah, some Kazarnian. No, yes, I can hit you up on AEW so you don't have to make the venture out over here all the time because I know it's a bitch.
I live like
yeah, but
10
to
minutes
do it every single time and to have to sit here for what 2 hours and then another extra hour to record while I set up.
Yeah,
which I should have probably set up before I was watching. No, but thanks for coming, Jesus. I love you, brother. Do you got anything to say?
We like I said, we got to do our 3-3 match breakdown. You pick 3, I pick 3, and we break down our matches, and hopefully that's something we can do within the next week or so. Because that should be fun. I already know what I'm gonna. As a matter of fact, I've already sent you one match a while ago, but I already know what I'm gonna send you.
It's an edge match.
Yes, I think 2 out of my 3 matches are tag team matches.
Okay.
From like the same era, 06, 08.
Good.
Because I know you were dropping off at that time, and it's funny because as you
Definitely
were dropping
08.
off, and we don't want to get into it too much now, but as you were dropping off at that time, I was getting back on.
Yeah, you did a lot of history, and you went back and you saw a lot of shit
at that time. Yeah.
And now it's me. I've been putting my timeline back together. Been putting matches back together, pay-per-views. I've been going over my timeline and really setting everything up. I've been a ton of Bret Hart, like breaking down the matches with Ryan. We've come across, even with you, we've come across a bunch of Bret Hart. And you know what? Bret scoop Bret. Oh, crazy. Bret, he did it all, bro.
If you think about it, yeah, he was kind of asking for it.
His dad owned the promotion. His dad would have done it. They filmed in the dungeon right after. Ken Shamrock versus fucking Owen Hart.
Yeah.
So Stu I guess, had no problems.
Well, Owen Hart was still there.
Yeah. He got a big contract after that.
Well, he asked for his release, and they don't want to let him go. They let Bulldog and Anvil go.
Well, they don't. Anvil had his problems.
Yeah.
The only reason he was there was because of Stu.
Yes.
Poor Anvil.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Anvil.
Yeah, R.I.P. Anvil. We have an episode. Me and you did an episode right when he passed away.
Yeah. Yeah, not that much longer after he passed.
I want to thank you for joining me, Jesus. I know I said 20 minutes, but it's always fun talking wrestling.
Yeah, we get into it.
Please subscribe to the podcast. Check me out on iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, Stitcher. Go ahead and check out the rewrites. And I'll see you guys next time on the Fool Heel